We're in a digital world and we rely on technology to keep us connected. But what happens when Mother Nature wreaks havoc with things like tornadoes, storms, and wildfires? Those things that are happening to us every day these days. Well, over the last 20 years, weather related events have accounted for more than 80% of power outages. Meteorologist Jim Cantore is the man who is often in the eye of the storm. Jim joins us to talk about what storm preparedness looks like in today's digital climate. Jim, what can people do now to be prepared before any storm threat?
Yeah, this is the time before we get into that. You're absolutely right to have that plan, to make all the preparations. If you know you're going to have to, go to the store and get supplies, do it now. A lot of that stuff has a really great shelf life, the non-perishables and things like that. So beat the rush. Plus, make sure everybody in your family knows that, hey, when I get into this operational preparation mode here, where I'm, going through stage 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to be able to communicate with you as much, but I'll get with you as soon as I can. Make sure everybody in your family knows that. Plus, if you have a pet, if you have somebody with special needs that takes a little bit more time, you're going to have to make those preparations too, and realize that, even ahead of some of the orders that are issued, you're going to need to start that plan and execute it even earlier than you normally would. So things like that to have in mind and to have in place, just give you that peace of mind when the storm comes in.
And how can we use technology in our digital world to help us in the event of a storm?
Yeah, so there's great websites out there in terms of preparation. You've got FEMA, of course, even ours, weather.com, local emergency management. A lot of people don't know their evacuation zone if they live on the coast. So you gotta know that. And you don't have to, if you're asked to evacuate, move 400 miles inland. Just get out of the water. Just get out. That's how we lost so many people in Ian. Okay. They just didn't evacuate and they didn't have the capabilities of evacuating. So you've got to know that. You've got to know that that is a possibility as soon as you get under that storm surge watch. So, in fact, even before that, you should know it right now. All right. The other thing, too, is what about that connectivity? That is key, right? They say location is key in real estate. Well, you know what's key when you're in a storm is connectivity. Xfinity has this feature called the Storm Ready Wi-Fi, which gives you 4 hours of connectivity backup when you lose power. All right. That way you can keep in touch with family members. Hey guys, we're going through it. We're okay. So far, so good. You can watch the radar. You can watch, your favorite outlet, whether it be the Weather Channel or your local station, however you're getting that information, because that information is always changing when you're in the height of the storm or when you're in the battle. So to have that is absolutely essential. And then maybe should you get some damage and the storm moves through quickly, I hope you don't get the damage, but now you can take some pictures, have those ready, maybe even upload them to your insurance company so you get a head start and you're ahead of everybody else in the game. Those kind of things with a storm ready Wi-Fi like they have from Xfinity, I think can really help you at the end of the day.
And I know you know this. What does the storm season look like for our area?
Jeannie, we're kind of in uncharted territory, right? We've got an El Nino, which usually allows us to breathe a little easier in terms of the numbers, but is it going to be a strong enough El Nino when we get to the meat of the season, which is just around the corner? And we have these record-setting Atlantic and Pacific water temperatures. And of course, it's the hot water that fuels the storm. So does that overcompensate for a weak El Nino? A lot of the forecasters that look at the season, and there's about 23 or so outlets that do this, and they're respectable, say, you know what? We think that we're going to have an above average season because of these record setting warm temperatures. Now, whether one of those hurricanes or none of those hurricanes or 5 or 10 of those hurricanes hit the United States, that's the great unknown. That's why we key in on planning and preparation and being storm ready before the storm comes in.
Hey, Jim, thanks so much for being on the show. Next up, more from our friend and asset trading contributor, Jared Preston. So stay with us.